That's a good point. Okay. So this is going to be all about handling objections, overcoming objections. So the first thing I kind of want to get into is there's only 3 real objections. There's trust, there's fear, and there's urgency. Trust and fear are kind of both uncertainty. So they're just, you're not going to get a ton of trust objections. You have a brick and mortar clinic, or, usually the funnel that we're building for you already kind of gives you a lot of authority. So you're not going to have a ton of trust. It's going to be a lot of fear where people are just a little scared, especially with certain treatments. They want to know kind of what can go wrong, things like this. And then urgency is just, they like everything, but they don't really feel like it's the right time for them, or they want to get back to you next week. They want to get back to you in a few months, whatever the case is. So we have an objection handling framework. We call it CIVR. Stands for CIVR.
Stands for CIVR.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
Same thing. We're doing this all.
Stands for CIVR. It's just CIVR, baby.
All right. Cool. Clarify. I'm gonna ignore him. Clarify, isolate, validate, and reframe. So it's just have this in mind. Pretty much what it is you're asking questions. Again, I think I said this in an earlier video. Your clients and your patients, they can disagree with statements. They can't disagree with questions. So when they raise these concerns to you, they put their wall up, they're giving you objections. All you have to do is ask a question and you have the frame back. So we're going to kind of go through like a full role play here against a role play scenario. Again, guys, most of your patients aren't going to be as difficult as Blake has been, but we want to give you kind of like the worst case scenario. So if you can handle Blake, you're going to be able to close everybody.
It's hard to handle.
But once we, what we can do is we can kind of go through it step by step, and then we'll kind of tell them that's what that step was.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make you guys overthink. Just have CIVR in the back of your mind.
Every time CIVR's made like I can't even begin to tell you, not to interrupt you, but I can't begin to tell you how much money CIVR's made me. Like I've had people, it's just like I'm looking forward to the objection because I already have this in the back of my head to where it's just like, hey, I need to think about it. It's like, yes, because now I got to walk them through it. And to be honest with you, you get like a 50-50 chance. Like after you run through it one time, you get like a really good 50-50 chance. And then sometimes you got to loop a couple times.
Yep.
And then at the end of the looping, we'll make a video after this. It'll be the final one. It'll be called the consultative follow-up. It's when you don't want to push too hard because you're starting to increase sales friction. You guys probably will never have to deal with this. And very, very, like, there are going to be some very certain situations. Maybe they have to, but most of the time they'll be able to get a yes or no because it's not like you guys are like, I don't know how to put it. It's not like a pressure close, so to say, versus like an online B2B sale where they have all these other things. Like it's like this is a person that showed up to the clinic. So let's jump into it.
Not to mention that too, not before we kind of jump into it. If you do this process right, you should only really get where it's like, how do we make the numbers work for you?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys work with financial providers, and if you don't, we can, we have those partnerships we can help you with. You're going to be able to like always close because you can get them in those small digestible payments where you guys are still getting more cash flow up front. So it really gives you guys no excuse. But we're going to show you guys this framework. And bear in mind, I've used this same framework to close probably 95% of you. No one, I think that, almost all of our clients have been burned by other companies before. We have used CIVR on every single one of you guys. So you might even kind of realize kind of what we're doing here, because you might look back at that conversation you had with me and you said, Clay, I don't know, maybe I got to think about it, or Clay, I got to, I don't know if the numbers work for me, or I want to do my due diligence. You guys have gave me all these same objections, and here we are watching this video. So let's go ahead and kind of.
There was even that one doctor, let's jump into it, but there was that one doctor who jumped on and they were a fox. Do you remember that? He couldn't get the emoji, the fox emoji. Yeah. There was it's a silly story, but that was hilarious. It was somebody who, I need to run the numbers. I don't trust you. All these objections, and he was also like a fox. Like he had the emoji.
He had the emoji
on the Zoom, and he couldn't.
I was talking to a fox, too.
And he closed it. So
still closed it. Oh, big one too.
Let's jump into it. So we ran through everything like that. You just pitched me on everything like that. So I have full clarity on all the different, semaglutide, tirzepatide, all the other ones. So
yeah, same exact patient. So like you guys have heard all of his problems already, but we're gonna get to the end. So I'll kind of present the price. So I'll do this. Ask me what the price is. Let's say we're doing a 6-month program. It's $300 per month, so it's $1,800 up front. Let's say that's what the offer is.
Yeah, and by the way, like you can always downsell. So like if you're just trying to sell, like okay, so it's $297 to start. It's like no, like
yeah, start high. You'll watch how we do it too. But yeah, I'm gonna start. Let's just do this. So ask me kind of.
So yeah. I mean, I'll make sense. Now what are we looking like numbers wise?
Yeah. So first and foremost, Blake, I'm just gonna kind of warn you, we've had a great conversation here. These numbers might scare you. So we can always, work with you on them, but I do want to just give you full clarity. I do think we can help you out. And based on everything that we told you. So based on everything you told me to lose, to go from 220, get down to 170, 160 as
Mm-hmm.
healthily as we can and do it in 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to propose a 6 month program to you.
Okay.
This is going to consist of the semaglutide weekly injections. Of course, we're going to start you off on low dosage and we'll kind of
Okay.
build up. This is also going to consist of some nutritional training and some other support.
Okay.
So that's going to be 1,800 for the full 6 months.
Okay. So would you guys, I mean, is that all up front or how does that work?
Yep, correct. It's a one-time payment.
So the thing is like I see all these deals though where it's like I mean, I don't want to waste your time on it, but it's like I've seen online, like on my feed, like $49 to start off with,
Mhm,
stuff like that. I mean,
mhm,
$1,800 one time, like that's the highest number I've heard.
mhm.
So is that just y'all's program or why is that so much more like why is that so expensive?
So, I mean, just for kind of clarity from my side, are you asking me just because maybe you don't feel comfortable with the one-time payment, or is it more just you see these other deals where
No,
people
it's just like, yeah, that's expensive. Like
Mm,
that's expensive based on
okay.
what I've seen or online and stuff. So
Is it, I guess, more like, is it completely out of your budget, or is it just because you're comparing it to some of these discount
yeah, I
programs?
mean, if I see somebody that's that
Mhm.
it's like $49 here, and I mean, I haven't went to see them like I here
Yeah.
seeing you, but it's just like I mean, I understand why you want to do the 6 month. Like, it doesn't really make sense to just do it monthly. But I mean, that's just like the
Mhm.
price is kind of. I mean, 1,800 one time. Is there any
Yeah.
like why do you guys not break it up or why is it a one time?
Well, I guess just for some clarity again, and to give you some certainty, a lot of these, one-time discounts type of things, they are, maybe they're not doing something where you're going to be able to do the 6 month healthily. I know you mentioned to me you have a few fears about the, different side effects you have and stuff like that. So the reason we do a 6 month program is to really do check-ins with you, make sure we're doing this the right way. But again, just kind of, I guess for some clarity on my side, when you're asking these questions, is it just kind of a matter of making it work for you financially? Is it something that you're telling me, hey Clay, I feel comfortable with your clinic. I trust you guys. I want to move forward. It's just maybe that 1,800 per, for the full thing is a little bit too much. I'm just, there's no pressure either way.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I definitely see the value in the program since it's more of like a program versus like, I'm just coming in and take a shot. Like, I like how you guys are more hands on, so to say, and like actually
Mhm.
checking in with me. Um, but yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, there's like 1,800 one time for me is just like it's
Mhm.
super steep, and then I kind of just want to run the numbers, and because that would
Mhm.
be for 6 months at 1,800, that'd be about 300 a month.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I would probably want to before I committed to that, I probably just want to check to make sure that I can like afford that,
Yeah.
and then maybe I'll like let you know, and maybe we could start. And if there's any way maybe you could break a payment, that would help.
Yeah.
Just
Okay, so I mean, so first and foremost, I mean, just kind of break it down for me right now is like with your monthly income, are we kind of paycheck to paycheck? Do we have some savings or is it just kind of a cash flow thing?
I mean, yeah, like I don't have a ton of money. Like I definitely don't have enough to do 1,800 up front.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if I can do that.
Okay. So again, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page because we don't always do this. But for patients who I do feel like are going to be a great fit for the program, you have a good head on your shoulders. I'm willing to get creative with you here. I just need full transparency.
Mhm.
Um, if we were able to maybe, do it where we do 12 weeks first, you can pay for the first 12 weeks, right? So just cut that 1,800 in half,
Okay.
right? If we do 900 today for the first, essentially 3 months, which is 12 weeks. From there, will we have enough to kind of pay the next 3 months? And bear in mind, you're going to see a lot of more results, halfway through. We should be about 25 pounds down by then.
So it'd be 900 to start.
Mhm. And the reason we do this, not to, you know, I want to let you speak on your behalf, but it's because we do see a lot of patients who pay a little bit more upfront or more committed to the process. Thus, they see the results they're looking for.
Yeah, yeah. 900. I mean, it's definitely better, right, than 1800. But I probably still want to run the numbers on that.
Mhm,
It's definitely something more reasonable. I think I could do.
mhm,
Um, what I'll do is this. I'll I'll let you know. I definitely want to check. I just want to kind of like check everything. I definitely think not like doing 900. The answer is like yes, like I
mhm,
can do it. I just can't do it right now, if that
mhm,
makes any sense. But maybe like give me a week, or maybe even just like a couple days. You gotta make
mhm,
a couple calls, see if I can maybe move some money around or borrow a little bit,
mhm,
and I think I can come back to you with a yes, and
mhm.
we can start.
Awesome. So what I'm hearing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is it's pretty much just a financial thing. It's just if we can make the numbers right, it's a green light. It's a 100% your 2 feet in.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, let me ask you if maybe we could even break this up to where you're paying monthly, versus even for the full 12 weeks. And look, I'd much rather have it to where you're full bought in. I know you mentioned the $50 first month, and I think we can both kind of agree it's an easier way to cop out from there and not see the results we're looking for. But even if we could come down to 300 per month, or what's your if you don't mind me asking, what's your credit score?
Mm, I think it's. I mean, it's above 700. I haven't. I
Okay.
don't check it every month though. I probably should be better about that.
No, you're good. I get it. Do you use like Chase Bank or Wells Fargo? Do you have
I
one of
do.
those?
I'd choose Wells Fargo.
Do you have the app on your phone?
I do.
Okay, let's check it. You can actually, I can show you. I'll actually show you. You can check the credit score on your app.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, because we
Well,
might.
it's over 700. I know that for
Okay.
sure. I mean,
Oh.
does that? Do I still need it?
Well, if you're over 700, of course we'd have to pull it. But essentially, we do work with Care Credit, where they can actually help you get more of these small digestible payments to where you do get it that monthly payment. So we can kind of help you out there if you can, approve for that. It's a financial provider
Mm-hmm.
that pretty much helps you kind of digest these payments a little bit easier.
That makes sense. I think honestly, with I would much rather. I just feel more comfortable at just having like knowing I have the money
Mhm.
instead of going the whole financing route. I don't really do that. You
Right.
know, I'm more so like I'm more so that type of guy. It's like if I don't have it, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like I mentioned, I definitely think I can get at least a 900. I need a couple days because that's kind of the route I feel like I want to go.
Mhm.
Um, so let me do this. Let me get back to you in a couple days, give you some more clarity, some more information, stuff like that, and then we could maybe schedule a follow up here and go from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's totally fine. But I guess just again for clarity on my side, and
Hmm.
I do want to let you know we can do the follow up. We can get that on the calendar. But it sounded like before, if we could kind of make the numbers work today, and like I said, we don't always do this, but I'm willing to get creative. um, you'd be able to move forward. So it's like, even, if you can do the 900, is it just a fact of checking your bank account, or is it you don't know? Just, I'm trying to understand a little bit more, because, we've been through this scenario before where someone is right there about making that decision to, make the next step, towards their weight loss goals, and then they get a little nervous.
Hmm.
It's a big decision. I get it. But then we never hear from them again. They come back 6 months later and they're even heavier. So I just want to help you make the best decision. That's my only job. Is it just kind of about the numbers, or are we just kind of maybe feeling like maybe right now it's not the right time?
It's a bit of both, just
Hmm.
a little bit. Just like definitely, it's like a big decision, right?
Hmm.
And just like yeah, just I guess you could say, there's a little bit of nerves associated with it as well. And I'm not really one to just like, make really fast decisions, right? Like I kind of
Hmm.
came in, didn't really know much about it. Now I know a lot more about it. So like
Hmm.
I'm more of a sleep on the pillow one night, right? Flip the pillow around. Maybe it's cold on the other side and just really take that one night to really digest it. And then yeah, I probably would say that there's a
Hmm.
little bit of fear associated with it. Not fear, but like
Yeah.
just just worries, I guess. Or
Hmm.
I mean, I know I see the value in it. I don't know. I don't really know. I
Hmm.
don't really know how to put it.
Okay. Well, I mean, help me help you. What are you most afraid of?
It's a really good question. I guess the commitment,
Mhm.
like really just committing to it.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. Just because I've tried some stuff before,
Mhm.
and it always ends up the same stuff, man. It's the same stuff. Like every time I try something, it's the same stuff. So, just wanting to really like know that this is gonna work for me, and I don't know. I just
Mhm.
maybe it's belief that it could really work for me.
So it sounds to me, and I guess walk me through it, it's more you're worried that this isn't actually going to get you the results you're looking for.
I would say so.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I guess what would help you make feel more confident?
that's a great question. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, to be honest with you.
Mhm. Are you just kind of searching for a feeling that this is a good feeling?
Yeah, kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah,
This might be kind of a corny question, Blake, but I mean, do you really feel like losing 50 pounds in 6 months is going to be a comfortable thing? Growth don't happen in comfort. Would you agree?
yeah,
Mhm. So I think no matter who you go with, if you're getting the $50 discount, if you do the 1800, the 900, whatever the case is, it's going to be uncomfortable. This process isn't going to be easy, right? These slimming peptides, they're coming in to be a tool to lose the weight as fast as we can. But I'll be the first one to tell you, I'd rather tell you, Blake, the full, honest, blunt truth today and have you walk out the office knowing at least I was being honest with you
hmm
than tell you that this is going to be a walk in the park and you pay me $1,800 today. So, I mean, where are we going to go from here? I mean, do you think it's going to, let me ask you this, Blake. Is it harder to wait 6 months and get another 30 pounds heavier potentially, or maybe just stay right where you are, right? Or is it harder to maybe go through this uncomfortable, at least the next 12 weeks? It's going to be uncomfortable.
yeah,
Maybe try something new that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, but 3 months later, 6 months later, you feel like a better husband, you feel like a better father because you feel better about yourself. Either way, it's going to be uncomfortable. But I mean, let me ask you, what do you feel like is going to be harder?
definitely looking back on it and just like, because I can definitely say that that's something I've noticed is just like trying something, not working, going back, or like maybe it does work a little bit and then getting back in that routine. I just haven't,
Right.
it's that consistency. So, I mean,
Well, that's why we give you weekly check-ins.
yeah,
Why we go through a full process. We give you the nutritional coaching. We do the weekly check-ins. We want to stay consistent with you. So we're going to be here. I'm going to be here with you
hmm
through the whole 6 month process, holding your hand through there. But I'll be honest with you, it's going to come up. It's your decision.
yeah,
Is this the time in your life where you do want to make a change, or do we want to sit on it? And like I said, my only job is to help you make that decision today. And if breaking up some payments, things of that nature helps you out, I'm willing to maybe stick my head out there for you. But I do want you to commit to the process and feeling comfortable and confident with us that this is actually going to be a result that you're looking for.
you can help me with the payment.
Yeah. If you're at 700 credit, we can do the funding option. Or if you're someone who rather just feel confident having the money.
Yeah, I would feel better. I mean,
Mhm.
if we could do, if I put like 500 down now and then give me like 2 weeks and maybe I'll put like another five and then that'd be 1,000 because I'd give my paycheck
Right.
and then I'd have enough saved. I could probably pay the 800 off the remaining eight, like 3 months down from the
Okay.
start. So we're at least like kind of half paid in the beginning ish. I think I can do that.
Awesome.
If I don't have to go through the credit things, I don't really want to do that.
That's okay.
So
Well, I tell you what, we'll make a custom game plan for you. You just got to sign here, and we'll bring you on and we'll help you get down to that 50 pounds. That's Siver.
that's
He ran me through the mud.
I like that was like I gave him every objection in the book. Like was giving you fear, I was giving you trust, I was giving you
Urgency.
urgency. Like that was like a very advanced case of it. So I know you
Quick hooked.
big old gulp there. But yeah, no, dude, absolutely. First
That
take
was
Drake. To do that first take and not
that
be a
was
medical
perfect.
director, that's crazy.
I'm not a medical director. You
But
guys are never going to get someone that difficult. We just want to show you a very like extensive, and it kind of comes down to, guys, I didn't know the answers to all those questions, but you just have to be creative and just keep
that's why
asking
they're
the
gonna kill it
questions.
if they can get
You
this
guys do
down.
know the answers, but Ask the questions you know the answers to. Make that change.
Like a lawyer. Like a
Yep.
lawyer would ask you a question. Like he already knows the answer to it
Because
just to get you to say
because
yes.
Blake needs to make the decision for himself to sign that line, to do the 50 pounds, to go through the uncomfortable change. He has to make the
Where
decision.
do, where do you think you could have been better on that, just out of curiosity?
I think I could have maybe in the beginning, I think I assumed it was a financial thing too
Mm,
early. So I assumed that it was just a financial thing. I tried to start negotiating it a little bit too early. I would have, if there's anything I would have changed, again, guys, I was first take. And we want to give it to you guys raw and real.
yeah.
But I probably would have asked a few more questions about maybe around the fear and the
Mm.
urgency
Yeah,
thing.
that was about to say that was exactly it, because
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to indirectly say that it was never financial for me ever the whole
Yeah.
time. It was all just fear, uncertainty, that type of feeling. So
Yep.
like I knew from where I was sitting, I had the money. I just
Right.
didn't want, but then you kind of walked me right into it. It's like, do you want to keep staying like this and not change anything?
Right.
I think the one thing, once you got that tie down you were looking for at the end, if you would have labeled me there, I think I would have bought it a little bit quicker, but you still got me to the edge.
Right. And
Um,
you're not gonna be perfect.
yeah, you're not gonna be perfect. Like this is
Right.
the reality. But if you do that, and I walk out of this office and I don't buy, and you do that with every single person, oh my gosh, the follow up is like,
Yeah,
you.
because
What other person does that
let's say Blake walks out the office and next week I give him a call. Hey Blake, this is
next
this is
week? Well, you better be calling me next day.
even I'm just saying even in a week. Like that guy he's the one that walked out correct though. He might call me the next day. And some of you guys have probably felt that where I called you 17 times the next day, but if he walks out and I call him back, he's gonna remember that conversation of me telling him, "Hey,
100%.
I'd rather be blunt with you and lose your business, lose your clientele or whatever. I don't know if that's the word for it,
Yeah, I know you're. Yeah,
but he's gonna come back to me versus the med spa that is giving that $50 desk discount just to get him in.
yeah,
You
just to
know,
throw them in and be another number. Like I will walk out of this. If I were to walk out of this, I then go to another place. There ain't nobody that does that type of stuff. That's why we feel so confident on our sales calls, because like when people are like, "Oh, we're shopping," or they end up not buying and they just keep giving objections. That's when we'll move over to the consultative reframe. And
Mhm.
we'll shoot just a quick video after that. But this is the bread and butter of it, is the objection handling. Because this is where we see a lot of people lose a lot of the money. So let's jump after this. Let's end this now, and then let's just do a consultative reframe. We can loop a couple times, and then maybe we just make a short video to let them know like how we would do the follow up. Obviously, we're our product and everything like that.
Yeah,
We're in charge of doing a lot of things like that. But just for future reference, how to do the consultative follow up whenever the sales pressure is getting higher and higher. So
yeah,
yeah,
perfect.
boom.
Before we do, I want to say one last thing. This also doesn't give you guys the excuse to say, "Oh, well, my competitors have better pricing, so they're going to take all my patients." No, they're going to get the low quality patients that want the fast results. This framework is going to allow you to close at a higher percentage with higher ticket packages because you're actually solving the problem. You're not solving a price. I just want to say that because we always get that. I'm on the front line, so I hear that all the time. It's not an excuse. I mean, it's just an excuse.
We have cheap people that
Yep.
hit up, and this is the reason why we don't post a lot of the testimonials or anything like that, because here's what happens from our end, at least. It's like people see that we're doing business with somebody, they literally would just go DM them like, "Hey, I can offer you the exact same thing at fucking 30% of the price," and it's just like
Yeah.
indirectly it just races our clients to the bottom, and we just have to hope that we over deliver, so they'll just be like, "I'm not interested," and to be honest, we do,
Yep.
and a lot of our clients don't leave, but it's like, if I'm paying somebody, let's just give it an example, $10,000 a month or something, and somebody comes along and says, "Hey, I can do the same thing for 2 grand," I'm gonna ponder it.
Right.
I'm gonna be interested, especially if you know. So it's like we have to be careful. This is why we don't post your ad. We don't like tell people we're
Yeah. We
running
keep
your
things private.
campaigns. You have to stay hidden, because like that's the reality of this game. It's
Yeah.
cutthroat.
Our competitors are copy and pasters, so we
We have
have to
we
keep.
have videos of people that have
Yeah.
literally screen recorded our ads, loaded them back up with some subtitles, and run our ads as theirs, claiming to be us. Like you
Yep.
have to be careful. So
And
that's
then
all
they
I'm gonna
call
say.
their clients. So yeah, don't worry if you're a client. We give you the courtesy of keeping your info private. But just like you guys you're the only people that get the access to all this stuff that we're giving you here today. So let's get on the next call, consultative framework, and we'll kind of wrap everything up from there.
Yep.